All right, my beautiful friends, happy Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I think it is Wednesday. Yes, it is. My schedule got a little bit changed today, so I just really threw me off. But yes, it's happy Wednesday, January 24th already. Wow, time really flies. So anyway, I will be waiting a few moments here for people to tune in, and I am bringing you more update on our mortgage fraud journey as we are sharing. One of the things that I find very important is to really spend time on sharing and reflecting and, really being able to communicate some of the points and struggles and little or big wins or whatever it might be, because you never know who out there is dealing with similar or is struggling with the same thing. And like, I know that for me personally, the Lenka physical body enjoys, when I hear other people talking about their journey and their discoveries and this worked and it didn't work and I am really struggling with this. This is my challenge right now. And then what's really super exciting is to see all the amazing, brave souls out there who are coming out and they are speaking it loud. They are not afraid, because remember, we are over that fear mongering. All right. It's faith versus fear. It's knowing that power is within you. And this is when we pack it or combine it with some of the knowledge and the discoveries in the area of law and what has been done along with the history. It's like, wow, we are literally stepping into a superpower. And I want to really applaud, before we get into the subject, that I have something super exciting and kind of a little bit funny to share with you today. When we are all coming together and we are piecing the pieces of puzzles together, right? And now we are like, oh my gosh, look, this group is doing this and that group is doing that. So I just love it. I love it all. I love all of you brave souls who are just doing it, and there is no right or wrong way. Yeah, there may be easy parts. There might be more cumbersome parts. What is really important is that it resonates with you, that it makes sense to you, that you can explain it in your own words. If someone would wake you up in the middle of the night, that you don't need to be searching anything, and that's basically that you embrace it, that it's you. Because when you do that, you transpire completely different energy field. That's an energy field of confidence. I had actually just amazing conversation about that yesterday with one of my clients that is dealing with struggle, how to really step into their power, how to feel empowered on this journey towards the freedom and personal liberation, and breaking free from this tax farm that we've been all enslaved into. And it's really when we combine that faith, that knowing with that knowledge of the law and the history, it just comes in completely different level. It's a different frequency. And when we radiate that, when we vibrate at that, which is our inner calibration, wow, it's like no stopping to that. So before we get started, I also wanted to say is that, I do not like really the term that, because it was used before, right? We are in this all together, but we really are. So even if you are on the other side of basically being now challenged, that, you know, you work for some of these mortgage companies and you are like discovering, oh my gosh, I've been really made part of this criminal enterprise, because it really is. When there is, you know, no disclosure, when it's basically tricking people, it's defrauding people, it's stealing from people, especially when it comes to stealing their hard equity, meaning homes. And so these, you know, when we are speaking about this and we are sharing all this information, because we know that sharing is loving, means that we are coming all together because we are fixing the system, okay? So I want to be very clear that we are peace-loving, justice-loving people who are waking up and are learning their rights, and we and you want to be able to stand on your rights. And then what we are doing through this whole process is we are actually correcting the system, because the more we share this information, the more people comprehend this information, understand the information, overstand the information, the more there will be push on all these organizations, the banking institutions, which is really, there is no money, right? So I call them the STA, the security transfer agencies, which are the intermediaries between the people, the Federal Reserve, along with the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, okay? Because, and I still do not know this part, if there is possibly a way that we can actually have a direct access to the Treasury. If you guys know, you know, DM me. I receive tons of information, because this is where we are sharing, right? Because we are all on this amazing journey, learning how to really operate in the most efficient way, in honor, and bring solutions. So what I was going to say is, the more we are sharing, the more we are learning, the more pressure is being put on these institutions to really fix the issues and step into their fiduciary duties to actually provide the remedy to the people, which is out there. It's in the law. It's set in the stone. So as long as they are using the system, you know, there has to be remedy for the people. Otherwise, it would be illegal system and they couldn't do it. So I really would like to encourage with this, all of you, that there is a light in the tunnel. Okay, there is a light in the tunnel, and when we come all together and we do this properly, we properly exercise our right to remedy, which is very clearly stipulated in UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, that you have the right to remedy, which is very clearly stipulated under common law, very clearly stipulated in the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, which is your birthright. This is your unalienable, inalienable, God-given right that you need to have remedy. So if someone wrongs you, you can be made whole again. This is the whole purpose why the man created and put actually law on paper. So no matter which trail we are following, it has to be all in harmony. It has to be all in harmony. And so when we really start looking at it from that perspective, not this combative and fighting perspective, that's when solutions are going to be revealed to us. And that's what this is all about. So without any further delay, I'm going to share you a new things that have involved on my journey and the things that we are doing. Well, first of all, our second case with the second mortgage company, which is not only one, but it's actually three of them, okay? Because so the original loan, alleged loan, there is no money. Shh, don't tell anyone. There is no money. Shh. Was transferred to a servicing company. And then when I started to default all of them and taking them through the private administrative process of non-judicial foreclosure, then magically it got transferred yet to another mortgage servicing company. Many of you know who these people are. They are pretty much the same players. And it's not only for us here in California, it's also on the East Coast. I have some people, I believe in Texas, you know. So now we have these three parties involved. And it's very interesting because you know, the way how they really do it, right? It's kind of like the shell game, you know, that you have the cups, right? And they just keep moving it in front of you. Well, remember that behind each and every of these corporations, there are people, okay? Corporation doesn't exist. It's a fiction. It's a creation of the mind. So this third servicing mortgage company, what I actually found out is that it's subdivision of the original mortgage company. And it just becomes very, very interesting and quite entertaining when you start really peeling the layers of the onion. And I know that you guys are watching, so this is full disclosure. Okay, there is nothing to hide. We operate, we the people are honorable people, peaceful people, loving people, and all we want is justice. We just want justice. We just want the remedy. You know, there is no reason to get excited over it. We just need to, you know, start fixing things. So okay, so first of all, before we get started, what's the new development on the case is basically this case has been finalized. So the mortgage servicing company, I brought them in on the case. So everyone got defaulted. Criminal complaint was filed with the United States district attorney, United States attorney for the specific district that we are dealing with. Tort was done, accounts receivables was done, lien was placed because they didn't pay. So now I had to bring it to be adjudicated. So this is when I invoked Article 3 Court of Record, brought my case in to the trial by jury. Remember, that's the highest court because you have basically the jury, the people of your peers that are reviewing the case. That was there injury? Was I injured? Are there damages to be awarded? And so here we have it. Okay, super exciting. I will be posting that. And here we have all the acting judges. This is the highest court we the people can have. When we bring it in front of 12 jurors and they decide. They either acquit or convict the wrongdoer. And you have to remember that the reason we are in the mess we are in is because we, the people, are not self-governed. We are depending on services of the bankrupt corporation known as United States, which is a federal corporation pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 3002, Section 15A, located in District of Columbia pursuant to UCC Article 9, Section 307H. So it's written there. And then every state is a franchisee under this main top federal corporation. So for us, we are in state of California, which is a corporation with EIN number, with DUNS number, you know, it's there. It's all that information is out there. So the reason these horrific stories and cases are happening is because we are not self-governed. We do not know how to handle our own affairs, and we are depending on these corporate services. And you know how that usually goes, that, there is really no justice because it's all about being railroaded, it's just, I don't even want to go there, okay? So this is why we do this. This is why we hold our own code of record, and that's it. That's it, because that public record, which your code of record is, either acquits them or convicts them. And you hold it through your private administrative process, where you give plenty of opportunity that they can basically respond to it. They can prove that, yes, I did loan you, I made you a loan. I actually magically have some money and I loaned it to you. But guys, I was there at the close of escrow and no one gave me anything. And I have the first-hand knowledge. So this is why we do what we do. Now, what I received was that this adjudicated, convicted, wrongdoer, trespasser, criminals, it's plural because we have three companies involved in this. And when I say companies, I mean we hold the CEOs, the CFOs accountable and responsible, because remember, the corporation cannot speak to you. It's a fiction, and that's what they hide behind. I cannot even tell you how many times they told me, you have to bring it up with with Loan Care LLC or whatever it might be. I'm like, who is that? Where can I meet them? Is it Mr. Loan Care or is it Mrs. Loan Care? Where can I meet them? Oh, well, you just write to them and someone is going to write back to you. And this is actually what I will be discussing here. Okay, so I received that response from one of those companies, and as always, it's not signed by anyone. There is no signature. There's basically, it came from an insurance department. Insurance department is writing to me. So insurance department is writing to, actually not even me, it's writing to my estate, and it's basically telling my estate that this is, guys, so hilarious, okay? If it wasn't so sad and serious, it's really, really hilarious. So they've been adjudicated that they never loaned me anything, that they caused damages, caused injuries to be paid in damages. And you see, it's such a big machine that they don't even communicate because it's set up that way, right? It was set up as literally a machine to bulldozer over you while they have everyone going through the public schools and bamboozling everyone, right? And keeping everyone busy. And I'm sorry, no. We did that to ourselves, right? So no one was placing a gun for us to go through the public school. No one is telling us, hey, instead of studying and really searching and connecting the dots, go to watch what, your friends are doing on Facebook and post these pictures. Oh, look at me here and look at me there, and go to watch the Super Bowl and go to these concerts, and go to follow this fashion while we have important business to attend. Houses are stolen from us. Offsprings, meaning our children, are taken away from us. Our properties, our cars, and everything. So anyway, this is why we are doing what we are doing. This is why we are no longer, following the carrot. Look at here. Distraction here, look at there, distraction there. No. We are laser focused on what's going on, what our rights are, and all the laws that are protecting our rights, even as customers. We actually are not customers. We have a customer, which is all the capital letter name. So anyway, my estate received a letter from insurance department. And like I said, I wonder, is it a Mr. Insurance Department or is it Mrs. Insurance Department? I don't know. Once again, no signature. And they are basically telling me that they purchased a hazard insurance for the property. Now, in my previous video, and I will remember that mastering thing means that we have to repeat stuff, right? Until it gets into our subconscious mind and until it becomes our, that's who we are. That's the knowledge we basically stand on. So we have to remember there are two different properties that we are talking about here. I own the land, the actual physical land which is only described in meets and bounds. That's why we do our land patent. Because if we don't, we are basically playing in this fictitious world of real estate, which can be taxed, which is the overlay through the assessor's map design for taxation. Okay, so if we play in that fictitious world, we are playing in a wrong sandbox. Okay, so we need to make very clear distinction between the two. So we have the land and we have the real estate. Now, if we follow the real estate, fraud, everything is in the real estate, which is the APN number, which is a legal description, is the fictitious description of something where the meets and bounds under the land patent, which is the only and supreme superior title that you can have, because the deed is a color of title. Now we are actually talking about the physical boundaries of the land. Okay, so very important to distinguish these two. So they basically are letting my estate know that they purchased insurance for what they have allegedly interest in, which is the APN number. I'm like, okay, why are you letting me know? Well, they are letting me, the living woman, the authorized representative, on behalf of my estate, that now I owe them. It just becomes really hilarious. So I want to share the response. Okay, and the reason I'm sharing it here with you is because it's very important. Remember that we are honorable people. So whenever we receive any such correspondence, to stay in honor, we have to respond. The only challenge is that they created this enterprise, this literally criminal enterprise, which has hundreds and possibly thousands of people, many different departments that they don't even talk to each other. Listen, Mr. Insurance Department, who is writing to my estate, I guess you didn't hear from your CEO that it's you who owe me money, because you took my promissory note and exchanged it for FRNs and turn around and pretended like you are loaning me something. No. You guys don't talk. What kind of organization are you? So this is why we respond to them, okay? To really help to educate all these people who've been bamboozled, who think that, hey, I have this great, and hi guys, great jobs climbing the ladder in these corporations. Oh, look, I got hired by this mortgage company, and now I'm a manager, and now I got promoted to vice president. And they keep people nicely secluded, in their little cubicles, in their little departments, and they are just, while this big machine is just pushing this major fraud on the people. And it's up to us to put stop to it. So, be right back. Dear Mr. CEO, and I'm not just disclosing names because it's a little bit private matter, but I will share everything else in the letter, okay? So notice to principal is notice to agent, and notice to agent is notice to principal. Why? Because if this dude leaves the company because maybe he just is tired of stealing and defrauding people, it does happen that people eventually wake up to their soul that it's just putting this pressure that they cannot really sleep well at night, because one thing I tell you guys, you cannot escape consciousness. Conscious is there. It's going to bug you. It's going to make you sick. It's just, it's for a different discussion. Dear Mr. CEO, I am in a receipt of letter dated January 3rd, 2024 from one of your employees' agents assigns who once again failed to refuse to properly identify themselves via first and last name to avoid personal liability. As I have clearly explained to you before on several occasions, in order for a document to have any legal and lawful effect, it needs to have an actual living man, woman placing their full name and signature, by which they are taking full liability and accountability for the statements in such correspondence in order to be able to be called on a witness stand if needed so. This is why they are not giving you last name. Because if you would have to call them, well, how do you call some Susan ID number 1234? Seriously? This is why it's done. Continue. I am a living woman and I can only deal with the same, i.e. living people. The above mentioned letter comes from your insurance department and I do not know who it is. Is it Mr. Insurance Department or Mrs. Insurance Department? Please take due notice so you can take due care. I do not deal with fictitious creations of the mind. With that, I am addressing this back to you directly, as you are responsible for all your employees, agents, assigns who are hiding behind creations of the mind to escape personal liability, for which this liability now falls on you directly. The above-mentioned letter, herein attached for your reference, mentions the fact that you purchased and placed insurance coverage on my property. First of all, to avoid any further confusion, my property is the actual non-fiction land soil located in California State, a republic, located in the United States of America, and only described through the following metes and bounds. Starting at Monument 8, lead and tag LS 6039 on 7.77 offset outside the track boundary in the curb radial lines produced, and it goes on and on. This is my description of metes and bounds. That's the only way to describe the actual land. You have absolutely no interest in the above metes and bounds described land patent secured private land soil of California Republic. Your only alleged interest is in property described through APN, which stands for Assessor's Parcel Number blah blah blah, C Grant Deed, located in state of California, a corporation EIN number 94-602-07465, DUNS number 106917774, located in United States Federal Corporation pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 3002, Section 15A, which is located in District of Columbia pursuant to UCC Article 9307H. Furthermore, the above-mentioned APN has been returned to the assessor and confirmation letter of his receipt obtained, for which anything you purchase, place for this property is not against my private land or soil. The fact that you purchased and placed a hazard insurance on the above-described APN described fiction property is your choice, but the fact that you are having your minions sending harassing letters using the United States mail, which is mail fraud, trying to extort funds from me is a trespass and mail fraud, especially when it has been adjudicated that you have no interest in my private land and that there was no loan given to me, for which there is no mortgage, for which you have no legal nor lawful contract with me to even address me. With that, you are herein officially noticed that Lenka Koloma, all capital letters, is a private property registered under common law copyright registration number blah blah blah. Includes, please find common law copyright notice, which becomes a binding contract between us. Please read it carefully and or have your legal team to review it, as a failure to understand or act is not a remedy or defense. Sincerely, Lenka Koloma, the living woman, one of the people. So this is how we deal with them when their insurance departments are writing us letters, which no one is willing to take accountability or responsibility for. So we have to circle it back to the CEO. We have to hold some living man or woman accountable and responsible. And this is people, my beautiful friends, my beautiful light family, how we are fixing the system. No more fear. We are standing in our power. We are learning. We are expanding. We are standing in honor. And this is how we respond. So I will be loading this on YouTube. Make sure that you check all of the other videos. I've been asked to produce at least like one video a day. I'm not there yet, but I will try to come online as often as possible so we can share our journey here, our successes, our challenges. And I will see you all on the inside. Sending much love.